Jesse Gardner from Plastic Mind Design here. I've been having several different aspects of my workflow rocked lately, so I wanted to put together a quick screencast to show you how you can get a picture up on Flickr and post it to your Twitter account in record times on your Mac. I know there's like 1,000 ways to do this. If your pictures are in iPhoto, you could use the built-in Flickr functionality, or my personal favorite, Connected Flow's Flickr Exporter plugin. But sometimes I just have a one-off image, like an edited photo or a screenshot that I took that I really want to share quickly. And while I can technically use something like cloud.app or Sketch or something automated like TwitPic, I really like keeping everything flowing through Flickr, so I can keep the stats, I can check the stats, I can export through their API, yada yada. The same thing goes for the URL shortening. I could technically run it through tinyURL or isGood, but I really like to use Flickr's own short URL because it gives people a better sense of what they're clicking on. So I came across two really awesome tools that make it dead simple, Dropzone and Revcanonical. Now, first of all, Dropzone, it's a powerful little tool that bills itself as the Swiss Army knife of drag and drop for your Mac. And today I'm just going to focus on the Flickr upload integration that's there. Now let's say, for instance, I've edited a picture in Camera Bag. Let me just pull one in here. This is a cool little tool that I just recently got. Lets you apply different film styles to your pictures there. And let's say, let me try a couple different ones here. Yeah, there we go. All right, so if I were to take this picture and I were to save it to my desktop, okay, sunset on the Hudson. All right, so if I took this picture then, now what I could technically do is I could drag that into iPhoto and I could upload it that way, but it's quite a few more steps. So with Dropzone, I literally can drag it to Dropzone and drop it onto Flickr Uploader, and you'll notice it actually processes the image, and once that's done processing, it copies the URL to my clipboard. So now when I bring up Safari, I have it right here. So now I've uploaded it, and it's gone up really quickly. I can technically edit the photo title if I want to, though that usually doesn't matter for these one-off pictures. Now I have my own little plastic plas.tc shortener courtesy of Sean Inman's lesson, and I could click on that and I can make my own short URL. But as I mentioned before, I really would like to use Flickr's own shortener. And for those of you that don't know, if you look in the URL or in the view source, you'll see that there's a Revcanonical where Flickr actually gives this alternate URL for this particular page that I'm looking at. Now, what I used to do before is I actually would copy this right out of the view source and bring it up and post it. But I found a better way to do that. Revcanonical is primarily a URL shortening service, but they do something that most don't. Basically what it does is it checks to see if the Revcanonical link has been defined by the page owner before it actually tries to create the short URL. If it does exist, and by the way, there's a bookmarklet there, and I've already dragged that here, so I dragged in shorten. If I click on that, you'll notice it displays that short URL, and I can just copy it out of there. If it doesn't exist and I click shorten, it'll go through and create that short URL using tinyURL. So now I can very quickly and easily get to the short URL that Flickr provides me there, and then basically all you have to do is copy it into your favorite Twitter client. I took this picture when we were away for Thanksgiving. Post it in your favorite Twitter client, and then you're all set to go. One other thing I did want to mention, that canonical link that you saw on the Flickr page, that only shows up when you hit the photo page directly, not when you're browsing in a photo stream, a group, or an album. So if you'll notice the URL here, if I were to click back one, it throws on that additional thing in there. And I have noticed, I don't know why, but that canonical link is actually missing in here. So I bet if I hit shorten, yeah, it tries to create that tinier URL. So you have to hit the page without any of those trailing things that are on it, and then it'll actually give you the full Flickr URL. So anyway, I thought that was useful for me and thought it might be useful for you as well. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching.